No matter where you look at the moment, it seems the UK is being buttered up for a paper mile road scheme. Let's discuss it. On the trucker's eye!
I like driving in my car.
So apparently, a public transport charity has called upon our esteemed Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, something stuck in my throat, to impose a paper mile scheme on British drivers. This apparently is to fill in the increased shortfall in fuel duty due to the adoption of electric vehicles. So surely the solution would be to just drive electric vehicles for paper mile. No? Well, of course it's not. It's to make even more money out of the British motorist. But let's continue reading this article. And right there, you'll clearly see that the RAC described such a scheme as the way forward. So there's as good a reason as any to think about your RAC membership. But what about this? In more or less the same breath, the RAC are warning drivers about the potential new tax. So that's the same tax that you recommended for the way forward? Now, I do have my own theory on this, and I believe it's set to be introduced. And I actually think I can find one or two positives. Not many, but one or two positives of this being introduced. Firstly, though, we need to talk about Europe and HGVs. HGVs have been tolled across Europe, quite a lot of countries, for quite a number of years. In Germany, for example, they have been tolling trucks since 2005. Each truck is fitted with a toll collect box. They will pass from point A to point B using gantries, and then the truck will be charged for the kilometres driven between the two. Now, in the early days of the toll collect system, if you didn't have a box or a Maut box, Maut being German for toll, you would have to find a roadside machine and then nominate a route that you were going to take. If you were found off this route for any reason whatsoever, even if you got lost, you would be in receipt of a hefty fine. Now, I think the German system has given pointers as to why this Labour government will bring these charges to the UK for paper mile. Originally, the scheme was for vehicles of 7.5 tonnes and above, but since the 1st of July 2024, vehicles of 3.5 tonnes have also now been included in the toll collect scheme. And there are further pointers as to why the UK government will bring in this paper mile scheme. If you look at the Eurovignette scheme, only 4 countries are a part of it at the moment. They are Luxembourg, Holland, Sweden and Denmark. Belgium was originally part of the scheme, but left on April 1st, 2016. And just like Belgium, Denmark will also leave the scheme at the end of this year. Denmark and Belgium will both have their own truck tolling systems in place. And there's a good reason why Denmark and Belgium have left the Eurovignette system. The Eurovignette system charges trucks €12 per day, whereas the toll system charges them per kilometre for what they drive on the roads in each country. And that's why I think the UK will bring it in for trucks first here. The UK has its own system similar to that of the Eurovignette. It's called the HGV levy, and it charges foreign trucks for driving on the UK's roads. Now, normally it's priced at about £10 a day with massive discounts over 30 days or 3-month periods if paid for in advance. The price paid by foreign registered trucks is the same as what UK registered trucks pay in vehicle excise duty or VED. But just look at the difference in money made from tolls in Germany. This is a mock-up I've just made up of a 260-mile journey across Germany. As you can see, the total collected from the tolls is just shy of €120 for that one trip. It's a far cry from the £10 that the UK government collects from the UK levy from foreign trucks driving on the UK's road each day. And that for me is the first positive. UK trucks are paying vast amounts of money to foreign nations for driving on their roads. But when vehicles from those countries are coming to the UK government is only receiving a pittance in comparison. But obviously, every positive side has a downside too. And the downside on this one is quite obvious. Higher prices in every shop that we buy stuff from. Another positive that I can think of is that it might take a few vehicles off the road who go on numerous pointless journeys. There is no doubt that roads are overly busy, but this is more down to infrastructure and lack of spending by previous governments too. And just like earlier, every positive has a negative, and the negative would be that some people just will not be able to afford to run their cars, and some people just will not be able to afford to go to work. Now don't get me wrong, I can see far more negatives than I can positives for the motorist. Our car is a Volvo hybrid, and currently the VED on that per year is around £500. Most of the stories doing the rounds on the internet are estimating that drivers will have to pay £190 across the year. I can tell you now, there is no way that this will be cheaper for 95% of drivers. Maybe 5% of drivers might be slightly better off because they don't do many journeys in their car. But then you have to ask, what's the point of them having the car in the first place? And like I said towards the beginning of the video, if this is indeed to fill the black hole left by electric vehicles not buying fuel and paying fuel duty, and not because you're profiteering and earning more money from the British motorist, then the government has no need to start charging everybody by the mile. Electric vehicles just have to pay their fair share. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Can you think of any positives, or is it all just negatives from your viewpoint? If you haven't subscribed so far to the channel, please consider doing so, and I'll see you next time on The Trucker's Eye.